Okay, let's talk a little bit about day 3 of the hallway project. Yesterday I asked you to focus on connecting your ceiling lines that are going down the hallway, but not doing the horizontals just yet. We also asked for you to start working in maybe some verticals, like where your lockers were going to be, recessed doorways, doors that maybe are flush and even with the wall. And in order to do that, you may have had to put in maybe 2 of your first brick lines that are near the top, or maybe 4 or 5 bricks for the lockers. Here on this worksheet it was only 3, but really I think it was like 5 or so. And so we said you might need to put in a couple horizontal lines, like if you were doing, you know, windows or even possibly columns. So yesterday was mostly vertical stuff with a couple of horizontals maybe to help you for, like, you know, windows or lockers or such. Today what you're going to do, you're going to focus on deciding how many ceiling tile lines you're going to need horizontally, and you're going to base that on how deep your hallway appears to be. You can look at your picture a little bit. That will help you get an idea. You can kind of see how big they are here versus back here on your original picture. They're not the greatest pictures, but they're better than nothing. So you know they're going to be small here, and they're going to get progressively bigger as they go back. You just don't want them to be so huge here they look like they're 7 or 8 feet long tile. So you kind of want to get an estimate, you know, maybe get an idea, as long as they progressively get smaller. And when you do your ceiling tile lights, most of you guys, your ceiling tile lights are going to be about 2 ceiling tiles, like so, 1, 2, with 2 tiles on each side. Here, 2, 4, I only have 5 tiles on this example, which is wrong. But if I had to do a ceiling tile light, it would have to be even. I'd have to have the same number of tiles on the left and the right. So here I'd have to do 3. If you've made a mistake on your ceiling tile, it's easy to erase that. You can just simply redo your math and fix that. But you go ahead and work in all your ceiling tile lines, like what you did on your hallway worksheet. Okay. You can also go in and do your floor. I told you that you did not have to put in tiles on the floor, though you can, but you will eventually have to at least put in a couple of horizontal lines to make it look like the floor was poured. It isn't hard to do these as separate ones. If you're in hallways such as this one, there's only 4 or 5 big floor tiles across that are poured in. If you're on the courtyard hallway, there's a bunch of little ones, and you may not want to do that many. That's up to you. All right, so after you get those ceiling tile lines in, then what you can focus on next is start putting in some vertical lines for, like, your lockers, deciding, like, how big is this locker going to be. It might look silly if you only have 3 lockers in a section of lockers. You know, look at the pictures that you got. Try to base it a little bit off of that. Pay attention if there was maybe even a frame. You can wait on the frame. The frame can happen after you connect your brick lines later, which we've still asked you not to do all the brick lines yet. But put in vertical lines for your lockers. You can put any extra vertical lines you might have missed in places. For instance, like if you get your ceiling tiles done and you get these vertical lines in, just check and make sure, you know, that even before you make these, make sure that you didn't leave out you know, sections of lockers or doors. You don't have to get in every single detail that is there in that picture, not every single detail, but we want a significant, you know, amount of detail to make it look like it's a project, not just a glorified sketch. So those are the things I probably would focus on today. Again, is go ahead and putting in your horizontal lines, butting up your ruler, smaller down here, larger up here, ceiling, floor tiles if you've got them, putting in vertical lines for, you know, your sections of lockers, making sure that they're bigger, closer to you, and smaller, and making those, you know, realistic. And anything else, like you could even work on this today if you wanted to. Just remember there's going to be usually 2 bricks above the metal door frame, so don't make it lower than it needs to be. It's going to be 2 bricks across. So anyway, I hope that this helps you, and good luck, best wishes, and happy drawing.